It was the first of 4 big primary days this month. You will have us here for all 4 of them. 2 weeks from tonight, Pennsylvania votes. Joining us now, political reporter for The Hill, Julia Manchester. All right, comparables between Ohio and Pennsylvania. What do we learn about President Trump's coattails?
Yeah, so I think if Dr. Mehmet Oz is watching tonight's race in Ohio, he's probably feeling good. He is hoping to ride those same coattails that JD Vance supposedly or very likely rode in the final days of that primary. I would say the difference, though, is that Trump endorsed JD Vance at the very last minute, just a few weeks before the Ohio primary. There was a much more breathing room between Trump's endorsement and what will be the Pennsylvania Senate primary. So we've seen that primary really go into the gutter, really, with Oz and David.
So Julia, real quick, we talked to Scott Traynor earlier in the show. I thought he had some really interesting points about how Trump's endorsement changed things for JD Vance. Rural Ohio voters broke much stronger for Vance late in the game. From your reporting, how similar are rural Ohio voters and rural Pennsylvania voters as a result revolves around President Trump?
There's a lot of similarities. And I would say in addition to those rural voters, there's also, rural working class voters and working class voters outside of, let's say, Pittsburgh or some of the steel communities in Pennsylvania, similar to those in Ohio. So I think there's some parallels to be drawn there. But one thing, if I'm Dr. Oz or maybe even David McCormick, I would watch out for is Vance's performance in some of Ohio's suburbs tonight. Vance performed well in the greater Cincinnati area. It makes sense because he's from that general area. However, we saw that Matt Dolan, who was very anti-Trump, performed very well and much better than expected in the suburbs of Columbus and Cleveland, very much outperforming JD Vance. And we know that that would, suggest that Trump's endorsement of Vance didn't help him in those suburbs. And it shows that Trump is continuing to be viewed unfavorably with suburban voters. And we'll have to see if that's replicated in Pennsylvania, for example, but that should be a warning sign, I would say, for any Republican, but especially Mehmet Oz, who has Trump's endorsement.
Well, I mean, the stakes couldn't be higher, as determining the majority in the Senate, how these things shake out in November. Real quickly before we let you go, how important is Georgia and the Senate race there, Walker and Perdue right now, and the Trump endorsement in that state?
Yeah, Georgia's incredibly important. And if I'm Donald Trump, I'm watching that and I'm pretty nervous right now. We are seeing Brian Kemp leading in the polls in fundraising, and David Perdue is seemingly somewhat behind. And I think it shows that maybe some of those voters who are being polled aren't necessarily sold on this Trump endorsement. And I think David Perdue needs to be careful with that Trump endorsement. Remember, going back to the last presidential election, Donald Trump, in that Georgia runoff, originally in the Senate last year, we saw Donald Trump very much go all in on this idea of election integrity, that the election was stolen from him. It didn't work from him in Georgia, and it doesn't look like it's working for David Perdue right now.
I appreciate that perspective tonight. Julia Manchester, good to see you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.